It's all right. It's recording the audio on its end, and so it should be all right. Mm. Hello and welcome to everyone and each one of you. Please come in. Yeah, you let the elders come at the front, please. Thank you very much. So thank you for coming and welcome to all of you to this accessible khutbah, a sermon in simple English for many of us who do not necessarily understand different languages. And for today, I would like to invite every one of us to reflect on a wonderful and amazing phenomenon that has been happening in our neighborhoods, in our local areas, and which has to do with the message of diversity in Islam. As a background story, many of you know that I have embraced Islam some time ago now in East London, and I did it, to be very honest, just because it was the fun thing to do at the time. And you can imagine I was coming from this very bland English middle-class family, a third cultural kid. We've traveled around the world, but it had to be in East London that I found my spiritual family. And you know, when you embrace Islam, it's a very fun thing to do, because as a white person, it gives you lots of admiration when you travel abroad in countries like Pakistan, for example. If you're on social media, it gives you a lot of followers. And I was just amazed by what I found, not at the other end of the world, but here in East London. And it had to do with the chicken shops, which were a different experience, a cultural shock, I would say, because I only had things like fish, chips, roast, beans, and all of a sudden my tongue and my palate discovered this explosion of exotic spices, because you know, it's not just this bland mix. In East London they put all kind of masala, they call it, in the chicken. And I was wondering, why did I not discover this word before, which was just around the corner, but my family always told me, no, don't mix with these people. But more than the food, more than the chicken, more than the batter of the chicken, there's the people. And if you've ever been to one of these chicken shops in East London, you will enter a different world. As I say, I've found almost a second family, because the people there, just simple, traditional. This is, I would say, the essence of humanity. They're very poor. Lots of uncles who came from abroad work hard in these chicken shops, but they have still brought the friendliness of the villages. They're even friendlier than all the people here in the West. And I've never experienced that before. The shops might be dirty. People say they're greasy. Some say they've seen like shops with like grease, like dripping on the walls. But I say this is authenticity. It is an authentic experience. You go there not for the cleanliness or the lighting or whatever. You go in the chicken shop for the smiles of the boss man. You see the smiles on kids' faces when they got their meal boxes. People might say these are traces of primitive society, but I say that this is an example of people who haven't been contaminated by the modern excesses of this word. My family always told me, what the hell are you doing with these people? But I always say to my family that, you know what? It is my word now. This is where I belong. I am proud to call myself a cultural nomad. A kind of a modern days Columbus, if you like to say. Someone who goes and discovers, who is not afraid of what is foreign, what is alien, what people perceive as dangerous. But I see a world full of colors, a world full of flavors, different scents. It is a world full of mystery. There is a deep spiritual meaning behind the experience of preparing and consuming fried chicken. You don't need to go to India or on the Silk Road to have a spiritual experience. Just, I say, go to your local chicken shop and order a box of wings, and that would be enough. You don't need psychedelics nowadays. This is back in the days. This is old-fashioned. Go to the chicken shop, I say. And I came to love chicken so much because it's been an integral part of my spiritual journey. Every single Eid, you will find me at my local chicken shop. There's nothing more comforting than have a bucket of like 5 to 10 pieces with a soft drink after your prayer. Chicken shops is always a place for community. This is where, with the brothers, we used to go after each prayer. This is where we used to go for iftar and in Ramadan. And after the Tarawih prayer, we'll have second rounds. And just ponder 1 second on the meaning, the symbolic around these shops, open till late at night, which you can see from far away, because they have this distinctive tungsten lighting, which gives, this green shade. If you watch some documentaries around India, the lights always have this green shade. And in the middle of the modern city, it's a beacon of freedom, of safety. You know from far away that, the place is open. And if you step in, you will have what you desire. Chicken shop gives everything the modern human craves, but that the modern society doesn't give them. It gives them oneness, a community, cheap food. Even if you're broke or if you're rich, no matter your social status, you can still go in a chicken shop. I like to say, a long time ago I watched this movie, Slumdog Millionaire, and I reflected on the term. What does it even mean? And if you go to these poor boroughs of London, everyone is poor, everyone is a slumdog in a way. But it is only for a trained eye to see that everyone, in fact, is a millionaire. In terms of spirituality, things that you cannot see. Nowadays we focus on, expensive cars, big houses, fancy restaurants, steak houses. But at heart, there's always a local chicken shop which will be there for you. Even if you fall from grace and from one day to another you lose your business, or a pandemic happened and everyone is struggling for money and restaurants hike their prices, you'll always find comfort in a fried chicken shop. And this is a metaphor for every one of us here, that we can be in whatever state whatever material state, spiritual state, political state, there's always an amount of comfort and wealth and safety that one can find just around the corner. There's no need to travel long distances, go abroad or go extra length when our true wealth, true comfort, true safety, basic human needs can be met just downstairs, just next to the underground station. I would like us to reflect on this when we go back to our homes. I know many of you haven't had lunch yet, so let's think about where can we have lunch, what do we have next to this mosque, for example. And on that note, I am wishing you very much a khutbah mubarak, Juma mubarak. Am I saying this right? And on that note, I wish to you all a happy Friday.